and welcome back to another video. So today we're back here for another speed build, and today we're going to go ahead and create this winter family bungalow. So if you'd like to go ahead and download this for yourself, it is up on the gallery now. My origin ID is RealThomasTV1, and like normal there will be a link in the description to the online gallery if you want to go ahead and download the build that way. So this build, like I said, it's called a winter family bungalow. This was actually going to be a Real to Sims build to begin with, and I'll explain kind of what happened regarding that, because it didn't turn out to be a Real to Sims build, so I'll explain that in a second. But first of all, a few details about this build. So it's built on a 40 by 30 lot in Willow Creek, and it has 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. And it came in at 150,247 simoleons, which I think is an okay price. I don't, try to use as many packs these days, which helps a lot with keeping the price down. So I think that's, not too kind of crazy in terms of a number. It is still a little bit high, but you know what, it's alright. And also then in terms of the packs I used, not too many. For the expansions, I used Seasons, Cats and Dogs, City Living and Get Together. For the game packs, I just used Parenthood, and for the stuff packs, I just used Laundry Day, so not too many there at all. And I know videos have been very sparse recently, and I'm really sorry about that. I have explained it a couple of times, like on the community tab and on Twitter and stuff like that. But just in case you don't know, I was working for pretty much this whole month, which meant that and it was a full-time, hours as well, which I'm not really used to, which meant that trying to do that on top of YouTube, which I know a lot of people do, but just for me not being used to it, it was very hard to manage both the things, which meant that videos kind of went on the back burner a little bit for most of this month, which has been really frustrating because it's not, I don't really like to be away from my channel for that long, because I know it can, start to have negative effects in terms of people sticking around. People tend to go away after a while and not come back, so I tried not to be away for too long. I have noticed that, my last video didn't do that well, just, being honest here, which is kind of a little bit scary, because people kind of go away for a while and come back and the channel isn't the same, which I'm really scared about happening, even though I was only away for a little while, so hopefully you all stick around. But I think I'm back now. It has been nice to have a little bit of a break as well, because 3 videos a week isn't that much compared to some people, but it is a lot as well when you think about, it's not just building, you've got editing and all the other stuff to do with it. So it is kind of, a big workload, especially for Sundays being a mansion build as well. So it has been kind of nice to have a little bit of a break from doing videos too. So I feel a little bit more refreshed now. And in terms of mansion builds as well, I don't think there'll be one this week either. I know it has been a few weeks since I've done one, and I always try to get one out every single Sunday. So it's been a little bit disappointing in myself for not being able to do that. But this Sunday is a very exciting day, because this actually marks my 4th year anniversary on the channel, which I know is not like a very exciting year, like it's not like a big milestone or anything, like I suppose next year would be, but it is a milestone after all. So I'm trying to think like what I'm going to do. Now, I'm not really too sure yet, but I mean, it's only 2 days away, so I'm going to have to make my mind up quick. But what I'm thinking of doing, and I haven't done this before, is doing a shell challenge, like a build shell challenge. I've seen quite a few people do this over however long it's been around for, and I think it's just a nice idea to do something different, and for being a builder as well, doing a build-themed challenge or something like that. So that's what I'm going to do. If you don't know what it is, it's basically where you download like a shell of a home, just like the very basic walls of the exterior of a home. You download it from the gallery, and then you go ahead and kind of do it up and make it into a nice home. I've done quite a few of these in the past, so it's going to be kind of like one of those. And then the winner, I'll probably do a giveaway. Not really too sure yet, but I'll imagine that's so. And also probably do like a tour video of like the winners. Well, I might just do one winner, but do like, several tours within one video of all the builds that I've really liked. So that's probably going to be coming up. I've been kind of thinking if I should do that or not, because I don't have as many subscribers compared to some other people, and when it comes to doing this type of thing, it doesn't always turn out that well, not having as many people like to actually do it. But I'm just going to take the risk, and hopefully people will enter, so please do. I'll probably give you like a good amount of time to do it, because I know I'm a very fast builder, so I'll keep that in mind, and we'll go ahead and do that. So that'll be coming up on Sunday most likely. So back to the build. I was explaining before about it being a Real to Sims, but just before we get into that, as I was just talking about build time there, this build actually took me an hour to do, which is kind of a long time for a home of this size, but it has been a while since I've done like a proper speed build, so that's why I'm just kind of getting back into practice, I think. But anyway, so this build, as I said, it is a winter home, but I am building it here in in just the general season. Now, it's not summer. Well, it is summer, but it's just in free build mode, which means it doesn't have a season attached to it. It's just like if you had the game without seasons, pretty much, which I suppose it is summer. Anyway, so I always like to builds in that kind of free build mode because there's no season effects. It's just really easy to focus on the build without, like, you know, snowdrops and stuff in the sky, and like when you try to move your camera around, it's like they're all in your way. So that's why I like to build in free build mode. But I thought, you know, it is like a winter themed build, so I thought it'd be better to do the video actually in winter. So I kind of do all the exterior here where it's better to actually see it in summer like this, so I can see all the landscaping and like all the true colours of everything, just so I can kind of make it all work well together. And then when we move on to the interior in a few minutes time, well, even less than that now, I think just about 30 seconds before we're starting the interior, I'll then go ahead and switch the game into winter, because then it doesn't really matter, if you know what I mean. So that's what I did. And then, like I was saying before about it being a Real to Sims build, I did actually find a house plan which was actually Christmas themed, and I haven't really seen one of these before, but that actual house was decorated all like outside lighting and everything, and it just looked really great. And I thought, oh well, it's coming up to Christmas. I know it's not now, and I'll explain that in a second. At the time it was Christmas Eve, so I thought, oh, that'd be a nice thing to do. But then I kind of realised how big the home was actually. Now, I know this is a 40 by 30 lot, but there was actually a lot more to this build. Like on the left hand side of it, there was like another, like the garage was then on top of that, on the left hand side. So it was quite a big home, and it was only a bungalow, which meant that in the game that would mean having to put it on a 50 by 50 lot, which I thought was, well, maybe would I have to be? Yeah, probably a 50 by 50. So I thought that was maybe a little bit overkill for a bungalow, so I decided just to scrap that because of the size of it not really being able to work that well within The Sims, which sometimes happens when you try to replicate stuff. And then also as well, for the fact of being Christmas Eve and then starting the build, it was a little bit pushed for time there. So I just decided to make it into like a general winter build, so it isn't Christmassy. But what I do when I do, like, you know, builds like this, which isn't just in a general season like summer, I do, like as you saw at the beginning, I did do a lot of the exterior within summer, which meant that when the seasons change within your game, like when it goes into autumn and spring and stuff, the house would still look good in there. Because I know in the past people have like done a winter build, but because you can't see like train paints and stuff, they haven't done that, or they've kind of tried to do it and it doesn't really look that right when it comes to summertime when the snow's melted. So that's why another reason I do build things in free build mode, just so the house looks really great for when you want to play it in other seasons as well. Unless you want to change houses every season, that's up to you. But if you just want to play with this home for a little bit longer than just winter, then you can do that as well. So we're now onto the interior. Like normal, I did go ahead and take out all of the footage of me putting the wall coverings in and the flooring tiles and things like that, so that, you know, it's just like kind of boring, I think, and you've seen it a million times. So I thought, you know, if the video is kind of getting on in terms of length, then I might as well just go ahead and cut that out. And then in terms of what I did for the interior in terms of like a style, it is fairly neutral. I did put some clutter like on the bedside tables and stuff, which I don't normally do because the house is kind of cozy, and that kind of just, I don't know why I thought of that, so I just went ahead and put a little bit more clutter in, but really it's not that noticeable, it's just a tiny little bit more. And then I kind of had, I sort of used the Real to Sims build floor plan to kind of help with this, because as you would have saw at the beginning, I was starting to work out the floor plan for doing that Real to Sims build. But when I decided not to do the Real to Sims build and kind of just do what I wanted, I did already start doing the floor plan, so I thought I'd leave it in. Because sometimes with Real to Sims build, and one of the reasons why I wanted to start that series was to kind of do things within builds that are different from what I normally do, and floor plans is one of those things, because I kind of have like a fairly kind of simple and sometimes just a kind of process of doing floor plans in particular parts of a build. But when you do Real to Sims build, you've got to think of things a little bit differently, so that's why I do those builds sometimes. So I thought, you know what, I've started doing the floor plan from based off this particular floor plan, picture, house plan thing, so I thought I'll go ahead and leave it in. It's nothing too complicated or anything. It's got like this little study area there within like the hallway. There wasn't really a separate study room, so I just went ahead and put a desk in there from City Living, like the one tile one. And then we'll also have a laundry room here. Now, as I said, there are 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms in this home, but you could easily go ahead and take laundry out or put it in the garage or something and then make that laundry room into another bathroom, which would be a good idea because in this home there is a master room. There's kind of one double kind of neutral room, I suppose, and there's also a kind of twin room for like 2 twin boys, I would imagining, but you know, you can make it what you want. That's just kind of what I had in mind when I was building that particular kid's room. So if you might find it useful to have an extra bathroom, then you can just go ahead and change that laundry room into one of those. And then also, like I say a lot, you know, if you need extra space in a home, I always say that adding a basement in is a really great idea to do that, because then you can just go ahead and build down. You don't have to worry about window placement, the floor plan, anything like that. You can just build the rooms on. And the whole just basement tool is really great when you want to expand on things. I also didn't mention, but I hope you all had a really great Christmas, as it was just a few days ago. And I did as well. I did actually get a new phone. I kind of paid for it myself mostly though, and it's an iPhone XR. I was kind of deciding between like the XS and the XR, but I decided on the XR. It was a little bit cheaper, and also I got it on Black Friday, which meant I saved a lot of money. Because I used to be, you know, I've always had iPhones as well, because I had like iPads and stuff like from when I was younger, before I had like, you know, iPhones and stuff. So I have like all those apps and stuff that I've bought and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, with iCloud and everything, that's why I kind of keep with iPhones, so I'm not like wasting money on apps that I've bought and stuff in the past, if that makes sense. So kind of earlier on, I used to always kind of want to have like the latest phone and everything, but now that I'm a little bit older, I'm not too bothered about that anymore. And the XR is a great phone, I think. So let me know what you got, anything interesting, or do you just have a nice day in general? So this is the kids' room here. As you can see, it is a twin room. This was just kind of because of the room being a little bit bigger in terms of size, so I thought it would be a good use of space to make it into a twin room, so that's what I did here. So nothing too special about it. As I say a lot, I do try to keep things neutral within my build. Sometimes add a kids room like I did today, but also try to keep that fairly neutral so you can just take your family and then do what you want with it. Also as well, I don't know if I mentioned this in my last video or not, but I do also have another 10 builds now available on the Sims 4 console library. So if you play on console, then make sure you have your games updated, and there'll be another 10 builds in there. Now, in terms of what builds there is there, I haven't actually made like, because what I normally do is that I post like a Instagram story of like each build, so you can see like the price of them, bedroom and bathroom numbers and stuff. Actually, I haven't got around to doing that yet, but there is another 10 in there, so you can go ahead and do that if you want. If I'm not mistaken, I think there are 2 homes for Realm of Magic. There's a mix of mansions and small homes as well, because I think the kind of set of builds before that, I did do a lot of mansions, and I know some people wanted to see some smaller ones, so this 10 set of builds is a little bit kind of mixed, which I think would be useful to some people. And also in terms of talking about the console library, if you didn't hear, the console is actually getting the gallery now, which is really exciting. Now, in terms of what's going to happen to my builds that I port over, I'm still talking to the Sims team about this, but what I think is going to happen is that I'm still going to port over builds every now and again, like, you know, with each update. So if you're playing offline and you don't have access to the console gallery, then you can still have builds within your library to use. So that's probably going to be the plan, but we'll just wait and see. So I'm going to leave you here with the screenshots. I really hope you enjoyed. In the comment section down below, let me know about what you thought of this build. If you have any more suggestions for anything else that you want to see on the channel next, that'd be really helpful to hear. You can go ahead and download this build from the gallery. My origin ID is RealThomasTV1, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.